What's up, Kev?
What's up? Thank you for having me.
First and foremost, right? Who's Keven? Before people are like, well, who's Keven?
So I'm a 15-year-old soccer player from Atlanta, Georgia. I've been playing soccer since I was 5 years old, and I'm currently playing for Atlanta United.
The biggest question is MLS Next hard to be in?
Well, if you don't have the mindset to want to be great, then yes, because everybody's competitive there. Everybody wants to make it pro. So you got to want to work hard. You got to want to touch the ball. You got to want to get better every day. So if you don't want to get better, then there's no point in being MLS Next. Because MLS Next is the main thing that's going to get you connections to college, pro teams, USL champ, all of that. So you gotta want it more than everybody else.
Why you love soccer and why you even chose this path?
Well, honestly, my parents, the first time I ever played, my parents just put me in it. But then I found out I'm good at this. I actually like doing this. So I kept practicing and playing over and over, and then I found love for it, and then now I'm here. I just every day just train. So that's what I do.
I feel that's the one thing kids forget to say. That's what I love to do.
Yes.
I feel now because it became more of a chase this career, they forget that you have to live to do it.
Yeah, that's true.
Every day. How's it feel that now you've gone through the ranking of the USSF and that you're at what could be the highest league for youth level? How's it feel all that journey getting up to this point?
Well, it feels great because now I know all my hard work has paid off. I started, the lowest level that you could be, recreational. Then I built my way up to MLS Next and Atlanta United, so it's great. I found out I'm good at this, so I worked hard, now I'm at the top.
So at least with me, I'm always curious since you've been at that level at such a young age, do you think you've lost your childhood, or do you think it was worth because of the grind, because of where you're at, that it's you know what, I may have not had these moments, but at the same time it was all worth it because of where I'm at?
Yeah, I think it's definitely worth it. It's discipline to not be able to go out with your friends, go out partying, go out to the movies, but it's all the sacrifices that I made to not go out with my friends, it's now I have a better shot at going pro with where I'm at.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of fact of being disciplined with yourself and knowing how to make the right choices, what's gonna make you improve.
Right.
Going out with your friends to the movies isn't gonna help you improve.
Right.
So that's why I stay home, train. I think about what's gonna make me improve. So that's what got me where I am today. I have a better shot of going pro now, but it's sacrifices. You always gotta make a sacrifice.
Do you think it's more the support system that got you there, or do you think it was more your self-mentality?
Probably the support system, because they're the ones that keep me going.
Right.
If I have a bad game, they're always especially my mom, especially my dad, he's always you gotta keep going. It's a bad game, just forget about it.
Right.
But yeah, definitely the support system. They always keep me going, so.
At this point of your career, right, you're barely 15.
Yeah.
What's been the lowest point?
For me, probably not getting as much playing time as I usually did with my old club. I found myself sitting on the bench sometimes, so.
How do you go through that? How do you deal with it?
You gotta work harder every day. That's what I do. Work harder every day.
And I saw this post on Instagram, which I share anything that I agree with, and some of these coaches or people that are athletes, kids love the idea of elite, but they don't know what it truly takes to get there, right? And so, for example, you were saying that your biggest struggle right now was getting minutes, and you just have to keep pushing through it. Some of these parents wanted overnight success.
Everybody wants the success, everybody wants the fame, but they don't want to know what it takes, the sacrifices that they make, the hours they have to put in, the work they have to put into it. They don't want to go through that. They don't want to see that. They just want to see themselves rich, millionaires, famous, but you also got to think about how much hard work it's going to take, the mentality it takes, the countless minutes and hours that you train every day. Yeah. But also thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to train here. I think it was very cool training in an environment that I've never trained at before. I'm always used to the nice turf fields, the nice grass, the nice facility, but I'm out here in the desert training. I think that was really dope, actually.
For a lot of the kids here, their highest thing is locomotives, which facts are facts. They didn't end at the top level these past couple years.
Yeah.
So that's where I guess me and him kind of question: is it more us wanting it more or them? So I think that's where it's more of the refreshing thing, because sometimes it's me and him wanting it more when we're not even playing no more. You know, is that a generational thing, or is that just more?
I definitely think it's a generational thing, definitely, because now we have all these like you said, we have all these electronics, games. Kids don't want to get off of it.
Right.
Like I catch myself, sometimes playing the game for a little long, but I still end up putting in the outlook, the work, the hard work. I always touch the ball, but yeah, I think kids all the time too often just stay on the game for. Like I see, like on social media, all I see is people streaming, people playing the game. It's like, yo, like, is that really what you want to do?
Right.
But I think back then, like, they didn't have that, so people wanted to prove a point. Like they wanted to play soccer. They always touching the ball.
Right.
They didn't have this extra, activities to go enjoy themselves playing video games. They didn't have all that. Right. So I think they obviously they're gonna want it more because that's all they have.
Right.
That they know oh, if I really make it pro in this, I can take my family out from where we're at, like all that stuff. But now kids their minds are all on social media and games. I think it's definitely generational. I don't like it at all.
Dude, what a guy. Yeah. Way to be the black sheep, good.
Yeah, pretty much. You do have a big following on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
How do you deal with that big following and then having to keep that mentality?
Well, I see the following, I'm like, I don't really, keep it in my mind, like, oh, I have all these followers, I need to, blah, 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 post all this, post all that. But honestly, I put soccer first, so soccer is always in my head, and social media doesn't really come, in my head that much. I don't let it distract me, but having all the followers is cool and all, but it's like, is that going to help me make it pro? Is that going to give me pro? Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, I think it's dope having all the followers, seeing all these people, like they see my skills, they see how I play. I think that's cool, but honestly, I don't really.
You don't pay attention to it?
Yeah, I don't really pay attention to it that much.
That's good. Because at the end of the day, social media will always be social media. You'll always have that one comment that kind of bugs you. Have you ever gotten those?
Yeah, definitely.
Little haters, man. Little haters.
Sometimes in the DMs, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but I just ignore it, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't let it get to me.
What would be your biggest motivation quote that you would always keep in your mind?
I really wouldn't have one quote. So what I would do when I was a little kid, I would go to YouTube, I'll put Cristiano Ronaldo motivation video.
That's how you start.
It would just be him talking in the background, just him giving motivation. So I never really had a actual quote that I kept in my head. I would just listen to that every day before I went to play. So that's really what kept me going and got me the right mindset.
So Ronaldo.
Yeah, definitely.
We get it, dude.
I know, man. He's the second best, okay?
Yeah. First best.
Could you explain for the people that watch the podcast what a weekly routine of an MLS Next player is?
Okay, so for me, I wake up at 6 o'clock. I shower, eat breakfast, then 7 o'clock go to training. Train from 8. Well, train does start till 8, but we always got to get there early. Do our stretching, all that preventatives. Training doesn't start till 8. Then we train from 8 to 9:30, sometimes 9:45. Then I'll wait for my mom to come pick me up. Go home, shower, eat, get dressed. Then go to school from 11 to 3:30. So it's just 4 hours. Then after I go to school, sometimes I'll go to my private trainer and go train. Or I'll just go to the field and train by myself or with my friend. So that's what a day, and then eat dinner and go to sleep. Repeat. That's all we do. Yeah, 7 days a week.
What about game days?
Game days, I wake up, honestly, probably 3 hours before we have to be there. So before we leave, I'll eat breakfast. Then we'll be on the way to the game. We'll sit. We go early because we want to watch the older team play. I like seeing the older team play because they have a lot of homegrowns, which is people with corrupt contracts. So you see how they play and you study how they play. But yeah, so we go there early, wait for my team to arrive. We're all there in uniform. And then we'll go to the locker room, drop off our stuff, have a team meeting, take our cleats, go warm up, and then game. After the game, me and my parents will go eat, then go home, rest, and then we'll see if we have a game the next day, then, same thing, wake up, go to the game. But now we don't have any 2-game weekends, so it's just one game. So we would just have the Sunday off and then back to training on Monday.
So, what do you do? Like, okay, so you mentioned the motivational. Is there anything like? Is there what is it called? Like traditions or like however like for example, Bella says she does all her right leg first before her left leg. Like, do you have anything like that, or is it just you wake up, get ready, and go?
I've seen it.
Well, I would wake up, pray, you know, always pray, and then get ready, and that's the main thing I do is just pray. Honestly,
Right.
that's just what I do.